Hey FlOSSTUBE, welcome to Creative Whim Studio. Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this is fairly short because I'm running out of time. It's already 5 o'clock. It's Saturday, April 24th, and we're having company at 7 o'clock. And I have a lot to do before they come. But let's get started with life. What happened last week? Not a whole lot other than the normal things. And, you know, having the grandkids. Oh, yeah, it was really cold last week. It was not fun. My husband used all kinds of Amazon boxes and boxes that our sampler books come in to cover all the hostas and some other plants that were, you know, in danger of being killed because of the frost. And we were supposed to get 1 to 3 inches of snow, which we didn't get. So that was a plus. But it was frigid. It was really cold. And I think I got to 28, 27 degrees a couple nights. But this coming week's supposed to be like 75. So there you go. That is spring in Michigan. So we had the grandkids Thursday, and the little stinkers, well, she would not take a nap, and he took a very short nap. So by the end of the day, she was just, you know, emotional and tired and cranky. And it was so... And the other thing is, Easton, he's changing. He is changing. He's on the go. He doesn't, like, listen to us as good as he used to. Like, he's testing his boundaries. He's going to be 2 in July. So he is testing his boundaries. And, I mean, I'm so glad I have Kevin to help tag team these kiddos. If Kevin was still working, doing sheet metal every day, oh man, it'd be difficult for me to wrangle them by myself. That's why you have kids when you're young. I mean, I can handle a day with them. If I had to do it by myself, it'd be obviously more difficult. But having them day in and day out, that's why you do it when you're young. It's still a complete and total blast. I mean, we had lots of fun. It's always fun. It's just, woo! It shows my age. By the time they leave, we're just like, oh. Okay, so announcements. The classes are now available to sign up for the Garden of Quilts that is taking place in September. I think it's the 16th through the 18th. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's in Lehi, L-E-H-I, Utah, and it is hosted by Thanksgiving Point and Riley Blake Designs. So I have 2 classes. My classes are both on Saturday. One is 9 a.m. to noon. I think they're 3-hour classes. So 9 to noon, and then I've got one, 2 to 5. So if you live in, what is it that Steph says? In, nearby, or within driving distance of Lehi, Utah, come see me. Even if you don't take classes, the admission is $25 a day, or I think you can pay $50 and get in all 3 days. Even if you didn't take classes, just being there, there's vendors that are going to be selling things. There's a meet and greet, which I'm involved in. I think that's only on one day. I think that's on Thursday. Not sure, but it's all that schedule stuff is on their site. I'll have a link in the description box below where you can check everything out. But just to be there and see all these gorgeous quilts hanging, and I mean, it's going to be incredible, y'all. My only thing is I thought, what the heck? What if it rained? What are they going to do? I mean, I'm guessing that Utah in September is a dry, beautiful month. I'm guessing, because that's a lot to, you know, a lot of effort to put out there. And if it were to rain, I mean, these quilts are hanging outside. They have strings from trees and just, it's gorgeous. But I think Let's just start praying now for beautiful weather for that weekend. Oh yeah, I heard from Riley Blake Designs, and I'm so excited because they love the Halloween whimsy line so much that they asked me to design 3 more prints, 3 more coordinating prints to go with the line. So I will be working on that this coming week. And then my last announcement is about our May release. I have 4 cross stitch charts. 2 are going to be samplers, and then 2 are just regular size cross stitch. And then I'm going to have, well, I have 1 punch needle done right now. I just finished it. It's part of my finish for this week, but I can't show you. And then I want to do another punch needle for the May release, but we'll just see how it goes with this thing cropping up, you know, with doing more work for my fabric line. I might not have time now to do another punch needle, but that's okay. And I already have the directions done and the covers printed for 3 out of the 4. Yeah, 3 out of the 4 charts. And then the 1 chart is going to be a sampler book. So I'm going to do that Monday and get that ordered. So all I have to do is that last punch needle, and I'm ready. So here's the dates, guys. The mass email is going to go to all the shops on Monday, May 3rd. They'll have all the information. They'll start posting it to their sites and taking pre-orders and seeing, you know, how much they should order and all that jazz. And then I'm going to drop the video 2 days later. It'll be a Wednesday. I'm going to record and upload the new release video showing everything fully finished. And then the following Monday, on the 10th, that's when we'll start shipping. I mean, we might start shipping earlier than that, but the 10th will be the latest that we start shipping all the patterns out. So I'm excited about the May release. We were going to do the May release later in May. We were going to do it the weekend that Nashville was supposed to be, but, you know, it was canceled. But that makes it the last weekend of May. And we can't do that because we're going to be out of town in the first part of June for a wedding. And the last weekend of June is when, or last week of June, Kristen will be up here staying with us. So June is going to be so busy. I'm not going to, you know, have as much time to work as normal. So it's like we got to get this May release done and everything shipped so that we can leave with a clear conscience, right? All right, we had some questions this week. I don't know why I say we. I wish I had someone sitting here with me to banter with while doing this, but I need to get Kevin to do one. Like, even if he just once in a while did a floss tube with me, that would be fun. So Carol asked, is there a way to find out when these kind of shows are being held? So she's talking about the Holly Hills Primitive show that was, it's called Early, wait, was it called Early American Homestead or something like that? So my suggestion, number 1, on that particular show is to go, I'll have a link below to their Facebook page. I meant to put that on there last week and I totally forgot. So there'll be a link to their Facebook page. That's where they make the announcements on their shows. And I know with Facebook you can miss stuff because if you're not on there all the time, you know, it goes way down in your feed and you can miss things. But usually they have a spring and a fall show. So, you know, those are the times that most people have shows, spring and fall. So, you know, you might want to check their site or their Facebook group every so often. They also have a website. I'll list that below as well. Oh, and another thing, because that same person, Carol, asked late, like in another question, she said, you know, is there a place to go? I don't think I put that on here. Is there a place to go to find out like a list of shows going on in Michigan? Because, you know, she's not afraid to travel Michigan to go to shows. I love that, Carol. I'm the same way. So I recommend that she goes, I'll have a link to this below as well. I'm assuming that the Country Register is still in business. The Michigan one is in Saginaw, and the Country Register is something that most states in the U.S. have a Country Register, and it is a place for shops country gift shops to advertise their store. And then also when people have shows, they also advertise it in there. So I recommended to her to either go online and order a country register, but if she has like a country gift shop in her area, if they advertise in there, they will have like a huge stack of country registers. So you can go to a store and just pick one up that way too. Have you ever considered, I didn't write her name down, I'm so sorry. Have you ever considered making the cat and dog paintings into cross stitch? I knew that question would come up. I just knew it. I don't see that in my future at all at this point. You know how that goes though, things can change. But as far as cross stitch goes, I prefer the more primitive look. You know, I have been doing some whimsy chicks and things like that, which aren't quite as primitive. They're a little bit more cutesy. And then, you know, I don't see myself doing that. Like when I was showing my florals one time, they were, you know, people were asking, are you going to make those into cross stitch patterns? And I don't see myself doing those either at this point anyway. Denise, that's a new one. Denise asked, how do you do your painting classes online? So it's a private Facebook group. It's too late to join for session 5, but session 6 will start, I think, in September, because the last one is for session 5 is in August, and we usually skip a week and then we start again. So it's either the last of August or it'll be in September. And it's just a private Facebook group. So once you pay for the lesson through my Gather Dream Create site or whatever, then you go and ask to be, oh my gosh, you go to my Facebook group and request to join it. And then I check, and if you've, paid for, that session, then I add you to the group. Stitching by the Moon, she said, when do you plan on releasing 1,000 Hills? She said that I showed like a little snippet of it in one of my videos. I don't have a clue what video that was, but that will be released in August. So Needlework Expo is going to be I think it's the end of August. I want to say the 25th, that weekend or something like that. So I'm going to release that. Mine is actually not called 1,000 Hills. It's based kind of on that scripture, but I reworded it, and it has kind of the same meaning, but I'll explain when I show the sampler why I changed it to what I changed it to. But mine is called Cotswold Fields. That's mine, but it's it's basically 1,000 hills. If that makes any sense. All right, whips. Okay, so for CW Live, we're working on Little Red, and we didn't get much done on the background, but basically she's surrounded by trees, and it's my little whimsy chick take on Little Red Riding Hood. Jeepers, I'm having struggles with words today. So we'll finish that up this coming Tuesday. And then you can see behind me, I started another Mary and Jesus painting. And that's how far I got. I'm not going to take it off the easel. But I just barely got started on his face and her. I just got started, so it needs a ton of work. But I was doing this blue kind of as a wash instead of like thick paint. So it's really cool because you can see all this texture. Remember, the whole thing was like that when I showed it last week? Well, you can see that texture behind this because I put it on kind of watered down blue paint. It's pretty cool. That, I don't know when that'll get finished. It'll be a few more weeks. And then, you guys, I started a cross stitch. I did, and I can't show you what it's going to be when it's done because it's from my Celebrate 15 Years cross stitch book, and that book does not have like any color photos. You can, well, if somebody else stitched it, I guess I could show it. But anyway, I'll just show you what I have done on it. So this is, basically, this is the back what I have stitched is the back of a dog. And it's a dog laying down, and he's like nose to nose with a little red bird. I think the little red bird has a hat on. Does the dog have a hat on? No. And then he's got like a little bubble that says hello. So he's like saying hello to this cute little red bird. But it's cute, it's small, and I thought that it would be a fun little stitch and just make some sort of little pillow or something out of it. And I got it in a darn bag. My project bags, my beautiful project bags, were down here at the studio, and I was thinking they were at the house. So I threw them in a bag, but now I need to put them in a project bag. Anyways, finishes. Okay, I got that punch needle done. I can't show that though. FFFO. Finally, fully finished object. I don't know why it's FFF or FFO. Shouldn't it be FFP? Fully finished project? I don't know. Object just sounds funny to me. Okay, so basically these are cross stitch charts that you're gonna get sick of hearing this. I have a stack probably this tall of cross stitch charts that I did not fully finish before going to the Nashville market. So prior to FlOSSTUBE and prior to learning about sticky board and all that jazz, I was horrible at how I showed my cross stitch at market. When I first started, they would be stitched, and I would just have the linen attached to the display board, and it would just be hanging there, just the linen. Then I didn't like that because it was taking up so much room, and they would get wrinkled unless I had them laying flat. So then I started attaching them to foam core because I didn't know about sticky board. I didn't know about pinning. I didn't know about lacing. I didn't know anything about that. So I was using foam core, and then I would use this ATG tape, which is a double-sided tape, and it's very sticky. And I would stick it to that and then fold the linen around the back and then tape that down as well. And I wouldn't fully finish them. I wouldn't frame them. I wouldn't do anything to them. So I have a huge stack of them that I'm working my way through and fully finishing them because they deserve it. They deserve it. It's been a challenge because the ATG tape is so sticky that when I first started doing it, I was like covering the whole piece of foam core and then sticking my piece on there. Well, it's too dangerous to try to take that off because it can pull stitches out. But thank goodness, one of them I'm going to show you, I had just stuck it around the edge. So anyways, long story short, I love this one. So this is Tiger Cat stitch 2/2 on 35 count linen, and the linen is Weeks Dye Works Tin Roof. Well, the stitch count is 167 by 125. The final measurement is 9.5 by 7 1/4. Now, here's the deal. Oh, and it was stitched by Kathy Watson of Grand Ledge, Michigan, and 1 DMC floss, and the rest are Weeks Dye Works. Okay, so here's the deal. It's full coverage. This was back before I knew, not knew, or maybe I just wasn't smart enough to think about getting different color linen. I was getting just, you know, tin roof, cocoa, mocha, just like nice sampler type neutral linens. So if you got a kind of dark blue, dark blue, oh my gosh, dark brown, kind of a chocolate color linen, you wouldn't have to stitch all the brown, which is the background, and then this scoop or the scallop around the edge. You wouldn't have to stitch that. So there you go. It's super cute though. I love it. And I think, you know, like I said, stitch it on black or stitch it on a dark brown would save you a lot of stitching. And he's just so folk arty and cute. And then this frame, I don't know where I got it. I'm going to say Hobby Lobby, but I don't know because I didn't have a sticker on it or anything. And it's white. And I thought, man, I should antique that more. I mean, it looks antiqued the way they did it, but I meant like to tone down the white. But something about the contrast of the white with that prim picture, I just thought it worked, so I left the frame alone. So that's that. And then the other one I finished is, and I finished it on that super cool child's, what do you call it, chalkboard for school. Isn't that cool? So I bought that at that Holly Hills Primitive Early American Homestead show. And I showed it last week. So I was so happy to find something that fit on it perfectly. Okay, so this is Hens in the Garden. It's stitched 2 over 2 on 30 count linen. The linen is Cocoa from Weeks Dye Works. The stitch count is 145 by 81 and the finished size is 9.5 by 5.5. This was stitched by Jessica Smith here in Michigan. And oh, it's just super cute. It's super perfect for this time of year. Give you a little close-up of the stitching. I love it. I love it on this chalkboard. This chalkboard is so cute. I'm going to be on the hunt for these now. I'm going to be on the hunt. And I'm so mad at myself because I saw another one when I was at that show. And I should have bought it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but didn't. All right. All right. And then haul. So for haul this week, oh, you know what I forgot to show you guys? I forgot to show you, for finishes, I forgot to show you that I worked in my journal and I created a super cute little painting. And I'll have a link below because I have a video showing, like a time-lapse video of me creating this. And then I have a poem that I read while I'm creating it. And then I tell you my inspiration for this piece at the end of the video. What I learned doing this piece is I used a Stabilo, which is a black, well, you can get different colors, I think, but I had a black one, and I went around the piece with the Stabilo pencil. It's like a waxy kind of pencil. It reminds me a lot of those China markers. It's very similar to that, but it's a little softer wax, and you can put it on there and smudge it with your finger. Well, I had never used it before. And I wanted to preserve, because there's like, these are real feathers. There's real feathers on here. And I wanted to preserve it, so I put matte varnish over top. Well, when I did that, I didn't realize that the black Stabilo was getting smudged and smeared all over my painting, all over my project. I didn't realize that until it was too late. So, well, here's a good example of where you can see the words. It says, oh, what does it say? My sweet Loretta, rest well. Daybreak will soon come. And that's like a message from God. But see how it's just all black now? Well, I had went around it with that Stabilo. And by the time I realized it had smudged all over the place, it was already too late to do anything about it. So thank goodness, though, I took pictures of this before I put that varnish on. So I do have some good shots of it, and I'll insert those because, oh, I was so bummed because it darkened her face. Like I had to go in. I actually went in with some paint after it dried, after the varnish dried, and lightened up her face a little bit because it was just live and learn, right? The other thing I did in this book is I took out a bunch of pages from the signature because now it makes, like, I can still do several pages in here and it's not going to be like that. You know what I mean? I took a bunch of pages out. So anyway, I'm going to keep working in this book that I started, what, in 2016? It's funny, it says 2016 to 2017. Here we are, 2021. I'd be happy to fill it and finish it this year. I really would. Okay, so for haul, how much can I tell you? All right, well, I'm just going to tell you this. Wilbur and Tilly are going to be part of the new release. I'm just going to say it, cross stitch. And I had one of these. This is, it's JilliBean soup, not jelly bean, but JilliBean. This is a 10-inch by 10-inch. And I had one of them, and it's going to be perfect for the series of these farm animals. But I only had one. So I went online and searched and searched and searched, and I found a place. What's it called? It's not Factory Direct Craft. Oh my gosh, Factory Direct Craft. I'll put a link below to where I bought these. I got these like in a few days after I ordered them. It was awesome. So I bought 5 because I needed 6 total for all of the farm animals that I'm going to do. I also got some, I don't know why I'm showing you these. It's kind of boring, but got some 8 by 10 cradled boards. These are not to paint on. These are actually to put prints on, to make prints on wood. And then Weeks Dye Works, thank you so much. They sent me the, I had placed a big order with them back in 2020 when the pandemic was just really hard on everybody trying to get their supplies. So slowly, as they're getting things in, they're sending me my order. But this is 40 count cocoa by Weeks Dye Works. Look at this. Is that not absolutely gorgeous? It's actually showing up. Well, it shows it better. It's weird how it changes. It's actually darker than that. It's so pretty. Trust me. It's very, when you think of cocoa, it looks like that. Right? That's just so big. I think that's it for haul. I think so. Okay. Yeah, so I am kind of freaking out here. So I'm doing the Silver Needle retreat. This is my first time being a guest designer at a retreat. And I'm giving away a kit of a sampler that's out being stitched right now. Well, there's 150 attendees for this retreat, and trying to get all the floss. So I don't have a problem with the linen. I already have the linen ordered. It's a special order from XU Designs, and I've already paid for it. So, and it'll probably be here next week. Whew, that was like big check mark. Now I'm going to do, it's mostly DMC. There were 2 Classic Colorworks on there, but it calls for 3 of one color and 2 of the other. Do you realize that's 450 of one color and it would be 300 of another color? And I'm like, I'm not doing that to them. I am not going to call up. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I need, all this by the 1st of July. So I decided to convert that into DMC. So I went to DMC. I'm trying to order through DMC, and I'm not having any luck. Their site is wonky. I put as much in as I could because if you put in 20 and they only have 17, it will just make it 17 and say, that's all you can get or whatever. So I had like a list going, and all of a sudden my cart's empty. Everything disappeared. And I'm like, what is going on? So I'm going to call them on Monday and see if I just can place a wholesale order direct with them and tell them I have a deadline. My concern is that I have heard that because DMC sells to all the big box, craft stores, they get first priority, and us little guys a lot of times don't get our things in time. So I'm freaking out because there's like 12 different floss colors in this sampler. So I'm basically going to be going to Joann once a week to get, I'm going to order online. I'm just going to start ordering wherever I can. I don't know. I have to make it happen. I will make it happen. I don't care if I have to stand on my head. I'm making it happen. And then I have a sampler kit for the Garden of Quilts, but there's only like 20 people in that class. So that's way easier. But 150, that number just like freaks me out. Okay, that's it. Oh, new in Etsy. So I scanned those big, huge paintings I've been working on for What You Paint Wednesday. The one with the Mary and Jesus. I had to scan that in 6 different pieces and then Photoshop it together. And I can't believe how good the color turned out. I was really pleased with that. Then I scanned Bridget. Remember, she was the red hair angel, has a little bird on the tree. I got her scanned. That one was even more difficult to piece together and scan. What was the other one? Oh, and then Maddie's Heart Trio, the one that has the pink dress that we did for CW Live. I got that. So those prints are now in my shop. And what else? I've got other things that I'm scanning and working on, but now that I've got that thing to do for my fabric line, I probably will stop spending time on that. But anyways, if you're looking for those, I know people were asking me about the Mary and Jesus one. So it is available in a 8x10, 11x14, and 16x20. And then my plans this week is just to continue working on that cross stitch. I'm going to make myself do an hour of cross stitch a day. I need to do the fabric line. I've got 3. The good part about what I need to design for the fabric line is 2 of the patterns I can pull from the existing art that I've already created, and I just have to make it into a repeat. So that is, whew, that's good news. And then the other one, I'm just gonna have to paint that. That won't take me too long. So I think hopefully by Wednesday I should have that done. And then what else? If I have time, I'm gonna do another punch needle, and then just continue with What You Paint Wednesday, CW Live. Those are my 2 painting days. I don't think, and my goal too is Monday to spend, because what I worked on in my little journal here, that took me like 2 hours. So I'm going to try to do that Monday. Every Monday, that's the goal, is to work 2 hours in my art journal, because it is so fun. The thing about art journaling that's so fun is it's small and it's quick. You're working fast. You're not like overthinking things like you do when you do a big canvas or something. It's a place to experiment and play, and you're not worried so much about the outcome of your piece, because it's in a journal. You're playing around with it. So it's just more freeing, and it's just a fun way to create. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for being here with me this week. I feel like, oh, I didn't do the giveaway. I'm sorry. Giveaway. You had to say the word collect. I'm going to insert the random YouTube comment picker here. Oh, no, I'm not. That's right. Okay. So my SD card didn't work. And anyways, so I'm just going to tell you who the winners are. The winner for you, which is the sheep, Deanna Ellett. Congratulations. And then for the God is Good chart, the winner is Terry Halsley, Halsey. So if you ladies could email me at teresakogut3@gmail.com and just remind me what you won, that would be so helpful, and give me your addresses. I will get those out Monday, Tuesday, or maybe Wednesday, depending on when I hear from you. And then, so this week I'm giving away the 2 charts that I showed the fully finished pieces of. Okay, so there'll be 2 winners again next week, and you have to, I didn't write something down. Let's see. Oh, I loved all your comments about the things that you collect. That was a really good question. I was so glad to have asked that question, because, oh, some of the stuff you guys collect, I'm like, yes. And sewing stuff, I want to collect those little tomato pin cushions and stuff too, but sewing stuff is really hard to find. At least in Michigan, the places I go, I'm not having hardly any luck at all finding sewing stuff. But, oh, what's the question going to be this week? I guess I'll make it simple. What count or kind of fabric do you like to stitch on? Aida, Lugana, even weave, is it? No, wait, Lugana, what's the other one? Even weave, I don't know. Or is it linen? And if it's linen, what count do you like? I'm just curious. So that will be, just answer that. And so your keyword is going to be fabric. The keyword is fabric. So say the fabric I like to stitch on the best is 40 count linen, or the fabric I like to stitch on the best is Aida. Okay? So your keyword is fabric. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me this week. And don't forget, create every day. Bye.